We've had some pretty special cars at Anglesey in recent times, from 918 Spider to AMG GTS, Nissan GTR and the wild Aston Martin GT12. But I don't think any has looked more at home in a pit garage than the new Porsche 911 GT3 RS. The noise is pure motorsport. The extreme aerodynamic solutions seem more outrageous than on many full-on race cars. It just radiates a toughness and focus that is unmatched by any other car with number plates. It better be quick then.
So we're going to get under the skin of this car a little bit on the circuit. Just find out what this mad looking car is like when you start to push it a little bit harder, but also we're going to set a lap time, see how it compares to some of the other stuff we've driven around here. We've set some pretty spectacular laps around here in all sorts of cool stuff, P1s and 918. Speciale is probably #1 target for this car, I guess. But also the 911 Turbo S was unbelievably quick. And you sort of think this thing, the full-on track monster, it's got to be quicker than that. It's got to be quicker, hasn't it? Okay, so let's remind ourselves, the Turbo S did a 13.6 round here, which is unbelievably quick. Speciale 14.2, just didn't expect the Turbo S to do that. So let's compare the numbers. This thing, 500 horsepower, 340 pounds-foot of torque, normally aspirated, obviously. Rear wheel drive, but the advantage it has, wider front track, massive 21-inch rear wheels, Cup 2 tyres, and it's lighter, it weighs 1405. 911 Turbo S, 560 horsepower, 516 foot-pounds of torque, 4-wheel drive, normal P0s that car had. Also the weight advantage is getting on for 180 kilos, I think the Turbo's just over 1600. Around here that should tell, but I think the tyres will make the biggest difference, and the wider front track. We should have virtually no understeer in this thing. But before we worry too much about the lap time, let's discuss what this thing's actually like in terms of character, because lap times are brilliant, aren't they? They're interesting, but they're about so much more than that, these cars, and they're all so quick now that the lap time has become almost less of a big deal. So what's this thing like compared to a turbo? Compared to anything really. Okay, so the engine, I mean, you can hear it. It's so good, and it gives you the ability to just pick apart the track any way you want, such as the power band. Just how creamy and precise it is. But it might be creamy in terms of its smoothness, but it's aggressive as well. This car is sharp, and it doesn't feel like a car that you just jump in and immediately feel comfortable in. It hasn't got the same sort of indulgent side as the GT3. I think it's more aggressive, more on edge. Quite like that, but it's a bit of a surprise. It feels trickier to drive than the standard GT3. On these first laps, it is the engine that really gets you. The engine, the braking and the turning capability, this four-wheel steer in combination with this wider front track just gives you so much turning. But it's a 911, so it still does the oversteer, the really sweet oversteer. The surprise to me is the car fit. This is going to sound like a really boring old 911 bore thing to say, but the car feels more like a 911. There's just more steering feel, greater sense of the rear engine location, and it is trickier. It demands just a bit more technique to unlock everything it's got. PDK is spot on now, brakes fantastic, changes direction beautifully. I mean, you add it all up, it is seriously good fun on the track. For the first time with this 991 generation, I love the GT3, it's a really wicked thing. But this is more special, there's more feel, more feedback, it demands more of me, of anyone, to get the best from it. And yet the limits have all been raised, so when you're going slower, I think it's more fun. But then it has the ability to just up its game above a GT3. The engine's just mega. So it's a step on in every way for me, in terms of feel, feedback, balance. It's aggressive, so it doesn't take prisoners. But it is a 911, so I don't want it to be too easy. You've got to work for it. It's an RS. It's a proper RS.
So it's the real deal in feel and attitude, but can the GT3 RS deliver a killer lap time too? Setting a lap time in the RS is a busy experience then. It feels sensational on corner entry, and judged against 99% of cars, it has almost surreal traction. Of course it can't match the four-wheel drive Turbo S, and that's critical on Anglesea's coastal configuration. It's an edgy beast too, those vast rear tyres gripping and then suddenly not. You can learn to play with the RS's balance, but it always feels like you're teetering on a knife edge. Its best lap is a 1:13.6, 0.6 quicker than the 458 Speciale, a huge achievement, but exactly the same as the Turbo S running on standard P0 tyres. Anglesea seems to suit the Turbo S's massive traction, and in the tight technical sections, four-wheel drive and all that torque win back any time lost in the fast stuff. So on this circuit there's nothing to separate them. But judged purely in terms of excitement and enjoyment, the RS is the 911 you'd sell your organs to own. It's wild, intense and a little bit terrifying at times. In short, it does not disappoint. If you want to check out our 991 Turbo S video, click on the left, and for the 458 Speciale at Anglesea, click on the right. And don't forget to subscribe to Evo's YouTube channel for more videos just like this.
It is seriously good fun on the track. Whereas the Turbo, fun as it was, didn't feel like it wanted to do that all day. I think this does. I mean,
it nearly went down the last time.
Oh, it's hilarious, isn't it? It's proper hilarious, this thing. It's like right on the edge, right on the edge.